How we going, everybody? It's a friendly tree here again. Today we're going to go through something that I've had a lot of people request. We're going to look at inputs on a pad. So I'm typically a stick player, but like many people in the past, I'd play at the arcade and I'd come home and all I had available to me back in, say, Tekken 5, Tekken 6 days was a pad. So I feel like I can play a fair bit on pad. I'll show you guys how I do things, and hopefully you can gain a bit of knowledge from it and get an understanding of how to do things on pad with Nina. I've done another video that's focusing on using stick and demonstrating my inputs on stick, and this time it'll be going through pretty much the same things that video did. So quarter circle motions, Korean backdash cancels, side step 1 cancels, crouch cancelling, and while standing 1, instant while standing 1. Anyway, let's get everything set up. So first off, we'll just make sure the settings are right. We're going to put Nina on wake up backward at the moment. Command history on. Yeah, that all seems fine to me. Now let's get the camera set up. So, I have to hold this a little bit awkward to get it visible, sorry. Try and get it on the right angle, other way. Okay, so I've changed the brightness, and first thing I want to talk about is how to hold the pad, how to hold the controller. You can see I'm just using a typical DualShock 4 controller. It doesn't matter what you're using. Intuitively, you want to hold it like this when you play a PlayStation game, I suppose. But when it comes to fighting games, or when it comes to Tekken at least, you usually want to move your right hand and have more of a, I guess it's a fighting game position. So imagine it's like you're at the arcade, you're using an arcade stick, so you've got your 2 fingers on the top, or 3 fingers on the top if you want even. So for example, if you wanted to do a 1, I'd be pressing it with my index finger. 2, I'd be using my middle finger, or my index finger. 3, I'd be using my index finger. 4, I'd be using my middle finger. And that way, if I were to do, well, you'd mix it up I guess, so 1 plus 2 would be my index and my middle finger. 1 plus 3 would be my index and my middle finger, sorry. Had a space out just then. 2 plus 4, I'd be pressing my index and my middle finger again, and 2 and 4, and 3 plus 4, index and middle. Alright. With the left hand, you'll be using your thumb. So you'll get comfortable using your thumb, that sort of movement. Okay, first thing is quarter circle forward. So this is a lot simpler than doing it on stick, because you're just using your thumb, you're just sliding from down to forward. Likewise with quarter circle back, you're just sliding from down to back. Oh. If we go on the other side, I mean it's the same thing, isn't it? So you're sliding from down to forward, and sliding from down to back. Of course, because Nina has the quarter circle back sway, she can do what's known as a Hayashida step. I showed on stick a way to do it where you sort of go from, you rotate from down to up, sort of going up, and that's quite difficult to do on pad in my opinion, but fortunately because you're just doing the thumb movement, it's not as far. You just do a quarter circle back then and up. So I'm actually doing quarter circle back, letting go and tapping up. Likewise on the other side, quarter circle back up. You get used to it pretty fast. I mean, it looks like a fast movement, but a little bit of practice is not too tough. Korean backdash cancelling. So this is a bit harder on pad in my opinion, because it's still the same input, because Nina's a backdash character, a quarter circle back character. She cannot do the back quarter circle back, which is a lot easier to do on pad. So because of that, she's got to do the proper movement, proper motion, which is the back down back. What I'm essentially doing to do that is back down back, holding the back button, releasing it, so I'm just holding the back, then letting go into neutral, then doing it again. Yeah, I find it quite tricky on pad, but as you can see, it's doable. Likewise on the other side, it's the exact same thing, just using your thumb with the other arrow. Yeah. Okay, back to some more Nina specific stuff. So the side step 1 cancels. Of course you're going to be side stepping back. As I said in the other video, I typically like to side step downward, just because then when you side step cancel, you're more likely to realign. I still prefer on pad, I still like to go to neutral, after the side step 1 before I do an input. And if you're going to something like up forward, you have to do that anyway. As long as you get the timing right, you can get pretty much any input you want. The way to do the side step 1 into side step 1 is the exact same thing. So you'd side step, like I'm saying, side step down, then do a back sway, then cancel it up, kind of like the beginning of a Hayashida step. And then as soon as you cancel up, you tap 1 again and back and do it up again. So, yeah. Oh, not a good time for a message, buddy. Yeah, you get the idea. If we go on the other side, it's the same thing. So, side step 1 back. So I'm just tapping up and back to do that, really. Nice and easy. Crouch cancelling. So just like I showed in the other video, I'm going to demonstrate with punishing of like a sweep that staggers the opponent. So Nina's most well-known one, of course, is wipe the floor. So we set that, and I mean the best way to punish this is a down back 3+4, but Nina can easily get an up forward 2-1 if you need. So up forward 2-1 is easy input. Down back 3+4, if I'm crouching from it, it comes out as a down 3. But if you crouch cancel by tapping up, hold on, I looked at the screen for a moment. Tap up, then you can get a standing move. Nice and easy. So we'll go back. The other main situation where you do a crouch cancel for Nina would be up forward 1. So a lot of people like to do up forward 1 into down forward 3-2 for her juggles. And to do that, of course, if I just try and go up forward 1, down forward 3-2, it comes out as a down 3-2. But if you crouch cancel by tapping up, and because it's tapping up, it's the same on the other side. So just making sure the controller is nice and in view. Trying my best. So that's if you don't crouch cancel properly. Okay, and that gets us into our last and perhaps our hardest bit, the instant while standing 1. So of course the easiest input way to do this is from crouching and just letting go and pressing 1. But using that in the juggle, I mean, we're not really going to have a chance to do that except off and up forward 1, you can just press 1. You could do a quarter circle forward, neutral 1, and it'll come out. And when I play pad, I often do it this way, to be honest. But as I showed with the stick inputs, if you hold the forward, if the forward and the 1 come out at the same time, instead of there being a space and it being neutral, then you get a quarter circle forward 1. So what people often do is they make that impossible to come out with an up forward. So just sliding your thumb from down to up forward. Now if part of the quarter circle forward input does not come out, for example, if you do it too fast, it'll come out as an up forward 1. Or if you press the 1 too early, at the same time as the forward instead of the up forward, it'll come out as a quarter circle forward 1. So, for example, or yeah. So once you've got the hang of that, it's just a matter of practicing it in juggles. So, like we did with the up forward 1 juggle. See, I'm not a pad player. Although I didn't do much better on the stick today. Okay, so what's happening here is I'm doing the input too early. Too early. Let's just get rid of this. Oh my god. Hopefully this isn't everyone's favourite bit of the video. When you play on stick all the time, doing this becomes a bit awkward. Oh. Let's try the other input, so without the up forward. And we'll go back to doing the up forward input on the other side, so you can see how I do it. Or don't do it. Oh. Okay, once again I'm going to go back to doing the neutral movement, just because that's what I'm most familiar with on pad. So just a quarter circle forward neutral. There you go. Alright, I hope these inputs have been clear enough. Sorry that my while standing one demonstrations were a little bit shocking. But you get the idea, you've seen the two different ways to do it. And it's just about getting the timing. I mean, I'm used to the timing and the inputs on a stick, so I'm a bit better at that. But yeah, it can still work on pad as long as you practice it. Lots of repetition, you can do it very well. I think we'll leave it there for this video. I think I've gone through all the main things that I want to at least. So please like and subscribe. Please comment below any other ways that you're doing these inputs, or any other sort of inputs you'd like to look at, and also just suggest anything else you'd like me to go through. I've still got plenty of tech to get through, so don't think that I'm running out of ideas, but I'm always happy to hear what you guys have, and I'm always happy to put your suggestions first.